Show. Hey, everybody, welcome to the Art of Relationship Show. I'm your host, Greg, as always, and we're going to get into how do you drop that baggage from old relationships, old hurt, maybe old trauma, so you don't carry it into your next relationship or next marriage, whatever you want to call it, okay? Excuse me. So, I'm going to give you some tips that'll help or hopefully will help you out as well. Okay. So don't go anywhere. Pay attention. And we're going to kick off the Art of Relationship show right now. Terrific. Okay, here we go. The Art of Relationship show. You can catch the show live every Wednesday at 12 noon Eastern Time. And remember, people, join in the chat down below. Please throw your questions, your comments, anything I can do to help you out to increase the chances that you will have a great, terrific, fulfilling relationship or marriage. And also, you will feel maybe fulfilled within yourself, promoting self-love and self-respect. And I'd love it. Make sure you throw your questions down below. As always, it doesn't have to relate to the show topic, which I'm going to help you or try to help you get rid of that baggage from old relationships, right? The old hurt, the pain, the trauma those triggers type of situations. Okay. So that's where I want people to understand and, look at, and it's hard, it's easy. And I tell people, and I have forever, okay, excuse me, that, it's not fair for your new person that you are, accusing them or treating them like they're the ones that hurt you, betrayed you, that maybe traumatized you, ripped your heart out. Let's be real. It's not fair for your new person, to get treated that way. Let's face it, unless they are the ones that ripped your heart out, okay? And it's not easy. I know that. Not at all, people. So pay attention. As people don't know, I introduce me. I'm Greg Dudzinski. I'm a fully licensed professional counselor in the state of Michigan here in Detroit area. Go Lions, woohoo, right? And been doing this professionally now for a little over 22 years. And I'm a relationship and sex specialist. Also, a lot of grief and trauma experience as well. Okay. So any questions, throw them down below in the chat and I'll do the best I can to answer them to the best of my ability. Okay. So that's where I want people to understand and look at, what is happening, what is going on, and what is causing you to still carry baggage from the past. Okay. And again, it is not easy. Not at all. Okay. And for a lot of people out there, they don't get it. They don't, oh, hey, why are you still, you should have been done with this. You were broken up. You were divorced a year ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago. Okay. So a lot of people will look at, they assume you should be done or healed, or let's face it, get over it. Right. And that can be very disrespectful to a lot of people out there. And I don't want that. Okay. I want people to be able to understand, to address, and to be able to look at the reality. What would it take to heal from the past? Okay. First thing I want you to do is look at what is causing you to still hold on to the past. Is it broken expectations? Let's be honest. Okay. Is it about, your heart got ripped out? I get that, right? I tell people all the time. That's why I work with this demographic, if you will, because heartache, it rips your soul. It's the worst, right? And part of heartache is part of betrayal. It's part of, expectations getting squashed, getting ripped apart, your heart being broken. And that could be, a loved one that you gave everything to, and they just sort of like a old piece of paper and went right in the trash, right? And it hurts. It's devastating. But that's where I want people to be able to understand, learn. hey, what did I do? What could I have done to maybe be a better partner? I'm all about that. Okay. I want people to start focusing on, instead of that person is an a hole, that person ripped my heart out, that person did it, did it, did. And it's easy to fall into the victim mentality, right? That does not mean, let me clarify, that does not mean you don't have a right to be devastated, to hurt, to be, your soul and heart laid on the floor and ripped apart. That's different. You have a right to grieve. And a lot of people will sort of ignore the grieving process when it comes into, going through a divorce, a breakup, a devastation when it comes to your heart and soul, right? So a lot of we don't want to feel it. We don't, it hurts, right? So we avoid it. We pretend we're healed. And then we're triggered later on by someone, we really want to feel close to somebody. And all of a sudden, we back up. I'm not going to get my heart ripped. I'm not going to get squashed again. So then we become cold. We become very difficult to love. And it's like we want to be loved, but then we're pushing that other person away, that new person, right? We're treating them mean. We're making them jump through all kind of hoops to, maybe guarantee that their love's going to be forever. Okay. And there are no guarantee, right? Let's be honest. Okay. So let's get that out of the way. So now we have to look at, going back to what I said earlier, looking at number one, what do we do to, prevent that heartache? What are we doing to look at, man, I could have been a better partner. I could have handled this differently. I could have, maybe spoke more about what I was feeling instead of assuming they would know. Right. So I'm all about looking at and taking accountability. Even a lot of people, I get accused, right? Blaming the victim. I don't blame the victim at all when it comes down to cheating, right? One person, oh, you blame the victim. No, I look at, what caused their partner or what maybe made them to want to cheat on you. That doesn't justify, that doesn't condone them cheating. Not at all. Okay. Hell no. But I want to look at, man, what was I doing to cause my partner not to love me or want somebody else or to cheat on me? And we could look at it as a relationship issue, or is it an individual issue? Somebody just wants their ego, pride popped, right? Attention seeking, that type of situation, versus, what? I wasn't feeling loved. I wasn't feeling desired. I didn't even feel cared about. And it's so important to me to, I love affection. I love physical intimacy, and my partner could care less about it. So I don't feel loved. I don't feel desired. And then someone chirps, right? We can understand that. That doesn't justify a person cheating. Not at all. I want to clarify that. And I mentioned that on a lot of episodes. Okay. Now we have to look at, what? I could have been more like this. I could have been a better partner. Maybe I could have stopped doing the bickering, the arguing back and forth. Maybe my comments were too blunt. Maybe I was too snide. Maybe I snipped too much, right? Those type of situations. Maybe I could have spoke to instead of attacking at. Maybe I could have got, could have been a lot less defensive. So I'm all about looking at those elements, how we can improve. Hey, Beth. Hey, Anthony. Hit me, throw your questions down below, people. Again, I want to do the best I can to help people out there. So throw your questions out down in chat, okay? And I will, like I said, I'll do the best I can to help people out there. And on Instagram, I don't know what, it might be the platform that is creating an issue that Instagram is not being loaded for whatever reason, okay? So I want people to be able to, share it on your timeline if people can't find it, and looking at, what is happening, what's going on, throw them out there. Okay. So, looking at those, what could I do to be a better partner? Number one. Okay. And a lot of people will look at this aspect. I'm already doing that. I want you to look at, what you are not getting out of that relationship or marriage. Even, we're not feeling love. We're not feeling desired. We're, maybe I can't trust my partner. Let's be honest, right? And you know what? and I keep fighting, I keep begging and trying to force that person to love me, to not cheat on me. I'm trying to force it so much. And you start losing self respect. You start losing a sense of self. You get me? You start feeling almost pitiful, right? And it's not a comfortable place to be at. It's not promoting self love. It's not commanding self respect in those situations, right? So that's where you look at, hey, you know what? I wasn't feeling loved. I wasn't feeling desired. You start looking at what that person was not giving you, not to bash. That's easy to do, right? That rotten people. How many people play the victim? They were this. He was this. He was terrible. He was an a-hole. She did this. She did that, right? I don't want you to play the victim stance. Again, you have a right to hurt, but to be able to heal and to be able to drop and leave that baggage in the past is what we want. So you can have a chance at a more fulfilling, healthier relationship down the road, okay? If that's what you want. It's scary. Tell people all the time, love is a risk, okay? There's no guarantees, but I try to stack the deck in people's favor to be able to look at, that you can succeed. You can have a better, maybe more connected love. That's what I go after. Hey, Jenna, what's happening? So, Douglas, what's going on? Please throw your questions down below, people. Anything I can do to help, create a tighter bond, a more connected bond, a greater sense of self, whatever I can help with, throw them out there, okay? Throw your questions in the chat down below. Excuse me. So, looking at what you were not getting out of that relationship, and it can hurt, whatever. It's almost like, it's self-reflection, right? What made me stay in that relationship when I was not feeling appreciated, valued, desired, whatever it is? And we're not talking perfection, okay? Not at all, because nothing is perfect. We know this, okay? But more times than not, I don't feel loved. I don't feel good enough. I don't feel a priority. I hear this a lot. Their family, especially during the holiday season now, their family, their friends, they're always take precedence over me. I am, it's like work. I get it. It's work, his mom, his dad, then it's his family, his best friends, his cousin. Maybe our kids are there, and I'm way down at that bottom. Not a good feeling, right? And you can learn from that. Well, I deserve to feel a priority. I deserve to feel loved. I deserve to feel connected. It's scary. I get it, right? Because a lot of people don't want to heal from the past because they don't want their heart to get ripped out again. I get it. Who wants that? Nobody does. And the bad thing about it, the real reality is there's no guarantee that your heart will be not ripped out again. Okay. Like I said, love is a risk, but we can learn to maybe be smarter, to be more proactive in that healing process, to be able to leave that in the past. And I've dealt with people. I have clients now, couples, right? Where one was man, woman, doesn't matter, right? They've been cheated on by their first wife. They've been cheated on by their second wife. They've been cheated on by 3 boyfriends in a row. They've been cheated on now by husband, boyfriend, or second husband. I get it. It's very difficult. Now we look at what are the signs. Is it, again, looking at, man, what was I doing? And a lot of people don't want to look at it. What was I doing to cause that person to cheat on me? Or is that just who they are? Again, nothing's perfect. Was I not loving? Was I not, giving? Was I not understanding? Maybe was I mean? Was I degrading? Was I constantly criticizing? How did I make that person feel to want to cheat on me, to not love me, to what? I'm all about that. But then we have to flip the script and look at, I was doing this. I was bringing it up. Look at the good things you were doing in that relationship or marriage in the past. Absolutely. But you also have to look at, man, I was doing that and I brought it up. I still did this. But a lot of people, right? They look at bashing the ex. They were this, they were rotten, they were narcissistic. I hear this all the time, right? I get that. They might have been, okay? However, then why would you want to be with someone that was narcissistic? Let's be honest, right? Why would you want to be with somebody that is uncaring, doesn't love you? Ooh, and that hurts. That just, like the spear, right? I get it. It hurts. It's devastating. Well, my question promoting self love and self respect, part of the healing process is that, you know what? I do deserve this. I want to feel love. I want to be able to trust my partner. You get me? And maybe I ignored signs, but I also want to look at my role in this. Okay. So you're not bashing your ex, not at all. You are looking and coming from a place of introspection, right? You're looking at assessing, evaluating, looking at the situation about what caused the demise of that relationship. Okay. And a lot of people, they will look at, yeah, I'm going to be smarter, right? I'm never going to have anyone cheat on me again. I'm not going to allow someone to treat me like crap. I don't want that. But there's a difference between demanding, right, and trying to force it instead of commanding it. Hey, if I feel this way, this time I'm going to bring it up. And if it continues, maybe I'm not going to be in that relationship. But a lot of people, even with a lot of baggage from, rape survivors, child sexual abuse, getting cheated on by numerous partners over the years, it hurts. It rips. Okay. That's where I want people to understand, to look at, you know what? That doesn't mean that the next person is going to do the same. I'm going to be smarter, but I'm also not going to be paranoid, so cautious that I cause maybe a great relationship. The best relationship can last forever now, but I'm causing it because I'm not healed from the past and from my traumas. A lot of people, we want them to do everything perfect to make us feel safe, to make us feel secure, to guarantee that they're not going to do whatever. But in that process, what are you doing to show that person you also care about them? Maybe you love them, you desire them, you want to be close to them. Maybe you love affection, but you're not affectionate any longer because you don't want to fully give. I get it. And get your heart ripped on. And now you have to go on. It's got to be a year, 5 years, whatever, before you are. And then that person is done. See, good thing I wasn't affectionate. Good thing I didn't give fully because it didn't work out anyways. How many people have been there, right? Instead of looking at, man, I get why they wouldn't want to be with me because you know what? I held back. I let my past, the garbage, the baggage down below, way in the past, right? Or maybe recent past. I allowed that to dictate how I am as a person. I did not give what I wanted or should have in a relationship. That's where I want people to learn to be able to leave that baggage in the past, okay? And it's very, very difficult. I'm not saying I make it sound easy. I know it's not. Oops, excuse me. And this is where, hey, you know what? I wasn't provided this sense of emotional safety. You know what? I couldn't talk to my partner about anything and everything like I'd like to. I wasn't getting this. So you can learn, and by looking at and reflecting what you were not getting in the marriage or the relationship, you can reflect, and that'll help you heal from the past. It's sort of putting the power back in your stance instead of, excuse me, I tripped over my tongue, instead of, allowing your past to hold power over you. I know it sounds easy. Like I said, it's not. That's where I want people to be able to look at. Hey, Skylar, what's going on? Cody, I appreciate. Who's that? Thanks for tuning in. Like I said, please share your questions, your comments down below. No derogatory comments, whatever. I know there's spammers and maybe teenagers like to have fun and bash people, but I want to help people. That's what I'm all about. Okay. Uh, so it's learning, why would I want to be in a relationship where I don't feel loved? I don't feel appreciated, important, a priority, instead of, looking at, well, I need to be okay, not feeling a priority. And we have all these excuses. Well, they do have family. I have family. They do have kids. We have kids. I get all that, the reality of it, right? But once in a while, you deserve to feel desired. You deserve to feel important, a priority, and what works for you. And we're not talking perfect, right? We're talking that it's good enough. And I'm not talking, oh, it's good enough, I'm settling. No, we're talking it's good enough, meaning I'm happy. I'm good. It's okay. We could work on this stuff, great, but I'm generally happy. What would it take to get to that point? And part of that is allowing yourself that the past is in the past. And it's very, very difficult, let's face it, when you break up, you go through a divorce and you're co-parenting with that same person, right? So you have more contact over sharing parenting time with one another. So it's even more difficult that person. But if that person still feels like, you know what, oh, they still hold power over you emotionally, mentally, that's going to destroy your new relationship. You get me? That's going to destroy going into the marriage. And you're more worried about your ex than your current relationship because you haven't healed from it. That's not fair to your new partner. And again, they're not going to want to feel important. Or let's face it, they're not going to want to be in a situation, in a new relationship, marriage, whatever, living with somebody when they feel the ex has more power over their partner than they do. And I'm not talking, I don't want power meaning a control thing. No, I'm talking emotional, mental, that person feels like their ex is a lot more important than I am. Why would you want to be in that situation, right? And then that person wants to leave you and you're wondering, oh my God, why? Why? They don't understand my ex. It's still the parent. I get that. However, if your new partner still feels like you still hold on to that you have so many regrets about your past. Oh, I wish we were still together. And you don't even have to say it. People can feel it. You have it, you see it in your eyes, that vibe, right? You even someone mentions your ex names and you're like, right? Why would someone want to be with that and compete with that? And this also goes with a lot of people that have lost spouses, girlfriends, boyfriends, significant others, right? What would it take that, okay, it was great, it was terrific, but I still deserve to be loved again. I deserve to have, love again and to be connected again. It's scary, right? Because we don't want to lose anyone. And how many people over the years that I've heard, men, women, any gender, okay? Right. You know what? Even though their ex died, they're a widow or widower now, I feel like I'm fighting with a ghost. I'm competing with a ghost that isn't even there because that healing is not set in. Number one, again, going back, you have to give yourself permission to want to heal from the past. A lot of people don't because they might feel guilty. Especially when we lost a loved one, died of cancer, car accident, that situation. I get it. I understand that. Okay. It's gut wrenching. But then you're competing with a ghost that, oh, my ex would do this. My ex would do that for me. There's always that competition. And that's what I'm talking about, being compared to the ex or being in competition with the ghost or being in competition with an ex. That will tell me that person is not healed yet. And what can they do to, grieve that and to be able to say goodbye to that. And I always say there's goodbye ceremonies I offer or, little rituals that can help heal that past that I provide or suggestions for my clients, couples alike. Okay. So that's where you have to look at what am I going to do to be able to heal the past? What wasn't I getting out of it? And if it was great and, your loved one passed away because of cancer, illness, car accident, suicide, right? It's devastating because a lot of people, I love somebody again and I'm going to try to force them not to kill themselves like my ex. I, I get it. I told you I'm a realist. Okay. I deal with a lot. I'm not bragging. I'm just saying I get life. I get the reality of emotions and heartbeat and all that stuff that go along with it. Okay. That's where I want people to be able to look at, what am I doing to heal from the past? Number one, am I giving myself permission to heal from it? Number two, what am I doing to actually leave that stuff in the past? Okay. That my ex, they're still around. They don't have that power over me. Maybe you're still madly in love with your ex and they cheated and they left you for somebody else, right? And that new person, they know it. How many people have been on dates and they tell you, I've been divorced? I've been there. You know, women been divorced for 8 years, 7 years, 10 years. And the whole conversation on the first date, they're talking about their ex. I'm like, hmm, you sure you're healed from it? Oh, yeah, it's been 10 years. I don't care if it's been 20 years. Why are you still talking about your ex to somebody else? Little conversation, yeah, it didn't work out, little thing. But like the whole hour, half hour you're with somebody, they're talking about their ex. And that tells me professionally and personally, you know what? You're not ready. Or you want someone to feel sorry for you. I get it. And we can understand. Absolutely. Understand the hurt and pain. That's part of being a partner and being there for one another. But it comes to a point where we can work together versus it's someone else's job to heal your heartache and pain and anger and bitterness from your ex, from an ex relationship or ex marriage. Okay. Not easy. But that tells me and it tells everybody around you that you're not healed from that. And that's part of that baggage. And I want you to give yourself permission. Maybe you don't want to for whatever reason. And I'll ask, what is the reason you don't want to heal from the past? And people look at me like I'm dumb, stupid, maybe mean. What do you mean? I want to heal from it. Yeah, no, you don't, because you're not doing the things to put in place so you do heal. And again, I'm not bashing. I'm looking at what is causing you or preventing you from actually putting stuff in place to heal from your past. You say you want to, but you're still doing this. You're still doing that. You're still answering the phone all the time when your ex calls. You get me? Looking at your behaviors, what are you doing to heal that? Or is it part of you're waiting for your ex to say, I love you, I screwed up, I want you back? That still tells me you're not healed, right? So you have to look at, number one, do I want to heal? I always say number one. I've already mentioned probably 10 times number one. What do you want to do? Do you want to heal? And then look at what you were not getting in that situation, in that marriage, but also looking at, hey, I can be a better partner, better person for my new person down the road. Okay. What does that even look like? Maybe it's being smarter. People talk about red flags. I ignored the red flags. Or, you know what? I thought they were doing this, or I was being disrespected. I was getting treated like crap, but I let it go. Oh, they're just having a bad day. You excuse it instead of addressing it. So you can learn, hey, this bothered me. I felt this way. I'm going to bring it up right away. Okay. I'm not going to yell, scream, and attack. I'm going to bring it up. Man, that hurts. I don't feel important. I don't feel whatever it is. Okay. So that's part of the learning in the same context that you look at. Hey, I wasn't feeling this way. I wasn't feeling loved. I wasn't feeling important, appreciated, desired. Okay. Or some people will, when their expectations just blow up, let's face it, right? That they're hoping their partner will become a lot more sexual. They'll become a lot more affectionate because that's what I want. So if they really love me, they're going to become this way. They might, but if that's who they are, and that's about compatibility, right? and you think it'll change and it doesn't, or you think you can tolerate not getting what is most important to you out of a relationship, and it's devastating, and you're blaming your partner because you don't feel loved, but you knew that in the beginning. So that's where I want people to look at the red flags better, to look at what's important to you. Again, that doesn't mean you're going to microscope the other person like you're trying to guarantee they will never hurt you, rip you apart. And you know what? I'm going to be more demanding. I'm going to make sure. So one little mistake, oh, that's done, that's over. They're not for me. When it could be one little mistake and it could be a great relationship going on. It could be a great turn into a great relationship, great marriage, that type of situation, instead of you being so paranoid that every little thing, right? He accidentally trips, over a broken step, stone, whatever. Oh, he's clumsy. He's not from, every little thing you're starting to be judgmental. And he's like, why you judge me all the time? I don't feel good enough. How many people have heard that from people? I never feel good enough for you. Maybe you've been there. Maybe your exes have felt that for you. So now's the time to learn, to be able to heal and to be able to move on and be able to, hey, I'm going to put this in the past. What does it take? And if you need help, please reach out, call me, text me, right? My website, theartofrelationships.org. You like me, follow me all over the place on social media at LoveGuruGreg too. And hopefully these tips can help you be able to start the healing process so you can leave the baggage where it belongs in the past. And this also goes from, rape survivors, molestation, horrific situations I've worked with and I still work with for years. Okay. I get it. It's devastating. No one wants to allow someone to do that stuff. And it's in us. And that's where the somatic trauma work might be needed to get it out of our body, to get it out of our, whatever, our sensory memory aspects, which is crucial when it comes into this stuff. Okay. So check out my website again, theartofrelationships.org. I'm going to stop the show a little early today. I got clients coming in early or earlier. So I appreciate it. Peace and love to everybody out there. Everybody take care. And I will see you next Wednesday, 12 noon Eastern time for the live show. And I try to post helpful content all over social media. So check it out. TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, you name it. Okay. Peace and love, everybody. Take care.